Hi, this is Rachelle Scrapcraftastic, and I'm going to be working in my DIY Christmas planner. If you would like to see how I made this planner, I will link to the video in the iCard up above and in the description box below. But this is the planner, and what I'm going to be doing is making a folder for this planner. Right now I have this folder. It's an Agenda 52 folder, but as you can see, it does not go with the Christmas aesthetic. It's more of a spring, summer type, just general use folder. So I want to make my own. I will be using this as a guide. So I'm just going to take that out and set this aside. To do this, I have pulled out this paper from this paper pad. This is one of the current Christmas paper pads at Michael's. It's in the hot buy section. It's called Peace and Joy if you're looking for some Christmas paper. I also have these red plaid papers. It's a very subtle plaid. These are from Joann, and I'm going to be using them. I picked these specifically because they're heavyweight, and also I don't have to worry about having a double-sided paper because of the way this is made. Okay, so here's the thing. This is actually one whole piece of cardstock, and it was just folded over to make the pocket. With it being 8 inches in height, I would need a piece of cardstock that is 16 inches in height to make that work. And I don't have that. So I am going to make my own version of this. And what will end up happening is I will have 2 pockets instead of 1. So let's get into it. To start, I want the red. I think I only need 1, so let me take these others out of the way. I want the red to be the base. So where you see the black and white stripe here, I want the plaid to be there. And then where you see the floral print here, I want the red to be there. Okay. So, and this is not quite the right size. It did have the right width. I like the width of it, but I want it to be actually 8.5 inches in height. So that is one change I'm going to have to make. Because this is all one piece, this is attached to itself with some flaps in here. So there is a piece that is folded over and glued down to the back side on both sides. So I have to account for that. Because I want this to be 6 inches, which is the size of this, I will have to add 1 inch to account for those tabs to attach it to itself. So I'm going to cut this at 7 inches wide. And let's see if this is going to work for me. So I'm going to line that up at 7 inches. Maybe this one will be a little more forgiving because it does have this branding strip on it, which makes it slightly larger than 12 inches. Yeah, I can get it on here easier. Okay. And I don't want to cut that off because I can actually use that little extra bit of height. And you'll see why. Okay. So let's line this up at 7 inches and trim. Whoa, this is a thick piece of paper. This paper would make great tags. If I have any extra, that's what I'm gonna be making with it. Okay, so we've got our extra inch, which gives me an extra ½ inch on either side. Now the height, we want to be 8.5. So I'm going to make this my top. This end with the branding will be the bottom. I'm going to put my top to the left, and I'm going to score at 8.5. So this is gonna be my first pocket. Then I'm gonna score on either side at 1/2 inch. So let's score 1/2 inch here. And then flip it around and score 1/2 inch. Oops. Okay, so far we've cut down the paper to 7 inches wide, so 7 by 12. Then we scored at 8.5 inches from the top. So that gives us this fold up here. Then we scored each side at 1/2 inch. Okay, so this part here is going to make a pocket. And these tabs will attach our pocket to this. We don't need this part of the 1/2 inch, so that will be cut off. I'm going to cut that off. But before I do that, let's figure out our next pocket. So it's going to be the same width. I'm going to have to cut it at 7 inches wide. And I'm going to cut it a 1/2 inch taller. So I'm going to do a 7 by 9. This is what I'm going to cut this at, 7 by 9. So let's do the 9 first. Then 7 inches. Okay. Need the scoreboard again. Did I cut that wrong? I sure did. I cut that at 8 inches. Let me cut it again. I don't know how I did that, but I did. And I need it to be 7 inches. I can't see. So 7 inches. Okay. Now I can put it with the 7 inch side at the top, and I'll score at 1/2 inch on either side. Okay, and the reason I made it a little bit taller is because I am going to kind of fold some of it over to give the opening a little more sturdiness so that it won't be too flimsy, because this paper is not as heavy as this paper. This is the Hot Buy paper from Michaels, and it is a little more thin. So I'm going to line this up kind of in the center. Then I'm going to lift this up and mark where that side pocket is, how that pocket, where it stops at and where it begins at. It begins up at the top, so I don't think I need to mark it, but I'm going to. Because if this is a top, then I need to go up 1/2 inch anyway. So if I take my ruler and connect those dots, this is the slant that I will cut. That's where I will cut it off to make the folder. I'm going to move this up 1/2 inch because I want to leave an extra 1/2 inch on there so that I can fold it inside of the pocket to make it more sturdy. Then I'm going to take my craft knife and cut my angle. Make sure I have everything out of the way. I think I'm going to go to Home Depot and see if I can find one like this. This one is from the Dollar Tree. It's not the best quality, but it gets the job done. And I just moved my ruler a little bit. But it should be okay. Okay. So that takes that off. So now I have this that I need to score. And I don't want to try and score that on the scoreboard. So I'm just going to use my bone folder on my mat, run it down there a few times. Oops. And hopefully that'll do the trick. Yep. So even though it's scored on the wrong side, it should be okay, but it's not. Let's see. Okay, there we go. You could also put a piece of foam underneath and use your bone folder to score, to make your score lines. That probably would have worked better. But I'm just going to burnish that down. I'm going to fold these side flaps over. And burnish those down. Then wherever the two folds meet, I'm going to cut that out and miter that. So these meet here. I'm going to miter down and then down on the other side. I hope I got that right. So this is how it's going to look. That way when it folds, it's not going to show on this side, but I need to miter that one a little bit more. That one needs to be at more of an angle. So I'm going to cut it like that. That way, yeah, when it folds, it's not going to show. And I could stand to take a little bit more off of this one too. Let's do it. So that way, yeah, when you fold them, they don't show. Let's check this one. So we got excess here that we need to take off. And miter. So that's the shape that it is. Hopefully you can see that. I just took off where it was excess. So that's gonna fold like that. Then it will attach to the base, which is this. And then this is gonna go like this. Now, unfortunately, you don't see a lot of the red, but I guess that's okay. So now I wanna do the same thing here. I wanna angle this, but I don't know how I want to angle it. Should I angle it going the other way? Because this is what it's gonna look like. And if I angle it going this way, how will that be? And this one, I'm not gonna try and reinforce the pocket because this is very heavy. I don't think it's gonna be necessary. Okay, so I think this is where I'm gonna cut it at. So here, oops, here, and then, oops, oops, and then there. Okay, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna mark it here and here. I think that's too low, but I'm gonna go with it like that. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I can just do in the middle of those two. Split the difference. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna split the difference, and then I can always take off more, but I can't add it back once I take it off. So let's cut it. And why does my ruler move? So that's gonna be that pocket. Then this one will sit in there like that. And I think I'm gonna round this off a little bit. So that it's not completely straight. Now I need to cut off this side flap. I think I'm gonna have to do that with the ruler because it is so, this paper is so heavy. I think the ruler is my best bet. Let me fold it over so I can actually see where the line is, or maybe I can mark it with the pencil. And I need to stop right there. So I'm just cutting off the base part. I'm not going down here where the pocket is for the 1/2 inch flaps. I'm just trimming off these 2 pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here, kind of miter it a little bit. And that'll help me remember to stop there. So this part goes. I don't even want to try and fold it because it's so stiff. But that's the part that's gonna go. So I'm lining up the ruler on my marks that I made. And I'm just going to trim slightly inside of the score line. Okay, so then I can just snip the rest of that off. Well, maybe not. There we go. Then on the other side, same thing. Line up the ruler. And take off the part we don't need. Okay. I was trying to be very careful not to cut too far into the pocket area. So, okay, there we go. So this is the shape that we have now. This is the pocket that's gonna fold up. Then these 2 flaps on the side are gonna adhere to the back piece, or the back panel. I'm gonna go ahead and actually fold these and score them. This is some good paper. I'm gonna have to go back and get some more of this brand. Okay, so I can see my pencil marks. Let's get rid of those. Probably shouldn't have dug so deep into the cardstock with them. There's that. So then this piece will go here, like this. It's not too bad. I wonder if it would have been better if I'd have angled it all the way to the corner. Like this. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this flap down, the reinforcement part. Just add some liquid glue to that and glue that down onto the pocket. That glue burnished in there really well. Okay. I'm gonna glue the large pocket onto the back base. Gonna add some glue to these side tabs. And line this up on the base. Get glue on my fingers. Make sure we don't go over the fold, just right above the fold, and line that up. Let's get the glue off the fingers. Make sure that is as straight as we can get it. And I just slid it over way too much. There we go. So we got it lined up. Let's go ahead and burnish that down really well. Make sure our pocket is still open. Just needs a little more glue. And then this pocket is gonna come up here. I feel like this needs something though. And I feel like this is so awkward. Okay, it's bugging me. I can't take it. I'm gonna cut it off. I'm just gonna cut it off. I was trying to keep as much as I could and keep the angles the same, but that just it's not cool. It's not cool. So let's take it off. Okay, I may regret this too, but I'll know next time. Yeah, I was thinking maybe if I decorate it with some washi up there or a doily or something, but no. I was just not feeling that. Okay, I can deal with that. Even though the pockets are at a slightly different angle, I like that better. So let's go ahead and glue these down. I'm gonna miter this one a little bit more. Yeah. So that it just doesn't poke out or get in the way. Let's add, do I want to miter this? No, those are already mitered. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some glue. I'm trying to add a generous amount since this paper is so heavy. And fold it up, press it down. And I think I should probably clip these because this paper is so heavy, just to make sure that it holds. So while that is holding, so this is our original and this is our new one. So it's just a little bit taller. So this one has the inside corners around it, and I'm going to do that with my We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper. And I'm going to do 1/4 inch. So just on this side, the corners are around it. Let's scoop that up a little bit. And if you use a really heavy paper like I did, you're gonna need something like this, heavy duty, to be able to even punch through that. I think 3-in-1 or Fabri-Tac probably would have been a better choice in glue for this. Again, because this paper is such heavy weight. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is punch the holes. So I'm going to use this as my guide, and I'm going to line it up centered and move my paper clip out of the way. Then I'm just going to use this to draw my circles where I need to punch. Seems awfully close to the edge, but I'm going to go with it. Let's punch. Okay, I can't get through that with my regular punch, so I'm gonna have to use the We Are Memory Keepers punch to do it. Even though these holes are a little bit smaller, that's the only way I'm gonna make it work. All right, so I had a bit of a struggle with these holes down here because it was going through 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of cardstock. So you might want to take that into consideration when you do this, if you do this. Okay, let's pop this in. Hopefully it fits after I've already punched the holes. Make sure it fits and it looks good. Still a little no, it's not a little short. That's just a little long. It looks like it fits pretty good. Pretty nice. So there it is. We got 2 pockets here and here. So I can take this one and put it back in my other planner. And I got my Christmas countdown page that I need to put in here. So I can put it in this pocket here, or I can put it in this pocket here. Whichever one. So, yep, I'm gonna put it in the big one. And then we've got some reinforcement for the thinner paper. And everything is good. That's it for this project. We made a folder A5 size or half letter size for my DIY Christmas planner. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that little gray bell so that you'll receive notification each time I upload a new video. Be sure to check the community tab and my stories for updates throughout the week. Also, check us out over at patreon.com/Scrapcraftastic for exclusive content and digital downloads. Visit my other channel, Journal Life's Journey, for craft videos and junk journals. You can find me across social media at Scrapcraftastic. Visit my website and shop at Scrapcraftastic.com. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.